the streaming. Okay, so let's turn on the engine and see what happens. Usually this should work. It's not a Soviet plane. We don't have to do any things. And it seems that actually for this plane I have to do some kind of modification to my track IR, guys, because yeah, it's a little bit off at this point. Let me give me a second here to try to center it properly. Oh no, there it goes. Okay, it's fine. Also, something they have also added is, let me give a close-up, is new hydraulics on the plane. So right now you will see a lot of people like bouncing around probably, and I've already heard that on the multiplayer people keep crashing and crashing and crashing because they have never learned how to taxi. They always took off straight from their fighter pen. They never learned how to taxi, and now it's something that they have to do because taking off over uneven ground crashes their aircraft, and it's apparently hilarious to watch. Bo, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Everybody, give Bo a thumbs up for hosting the channel and the stream. Anyway, we are in the cockpit of probably one of my favorite aircrafts of all time. The whole email line is just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so let's increase the throttle slowly. See what she does. Take a small... Oh, the brakes are extremely strong here. Ghost, I had not heard about, of that actually. That's going to be very interesting. Okay, let's make a hard turn here. And as you guys can see, the grass is loading in incrementally as I get closer, which kind of gives you a hint at what the graphical options are at the moment. I need to have nearly full right rudder here to counteract the prop wash. We don't want to be going too fast here. So I'm not quite sure where I actually have to go in this airfield. Okay, it looks fine. The hydraulics are slightly different. I feel like I'm bouncing around a little bit more now that I'm getting off the taxiway. But I think we have the airfield landing strip over there. And let me just focus on taxiing this thing at the moment, guys. I'll be back in chat in just a second. Last thing I want to do is crash this beautiful machine. Oh yeah, so here you can actually see the hydraulics. Let's try to get a... So Bo was showing off the hydraulics in GTA 5 the other day. Now what do you say to these kind of hydraulics, Bo? That looks a bit silly, to be honest. That looks slightly silly. Just slightly. Okay, so I'm gonna be taking a left-hand turn here, I guess. And then make my way to the... Who put the freaking taxiway here? Oh my god. No. Scheiße. Okay, let's do this again. Never mind, guys. Never mind. Things like this happen. Okay, and now I can actually check chat. Alex Flying Club, thank you very much as well. Thank you so much. And no worries. Thank you very much. In many ways, I enjoy what I do. Okay, so let's try this again. Throttle to 0, make sure that we don't... To be honest, I think I took the long way. If I had gone left here... Doesn't that look over there like sort of a path? Yeah, let's go left and see what we can do there. I think we just went the wrong way. It's possible. Yeah, amuse yourself, guys. Amuse yourself. I do play a little bit of DCS, but I have not tried it after 1.5. Yeah, I got a lumberjack achievement. Only that the tree kind of beat me. Okay, so let's go left. Bounce, 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 boink. Donk, donk. As the Americans would say. Something like that. And let's go to the right. Come on. Come on, give me a little bit more power, Emil. Just a little bit more power. She's actually quite easy to taxi, guys. She's more responsive or less wild, let's say, than the F4 and the G2, but the brakes are extremely strong. Or, you know, the engine is less powerful. Both descriptions are probably pretty accurate. Alright, so we actually have the easy way over here. Remember, sometimes you gotta go to the left, even though we Germans tend to go to the right. But the left sometimes also has credible... Whatever, I'm just not gonna continue that sentence. Okay, so the reason why you remove a headrest is shown right here. Yeah, if that headrest gone, I would be seeing way more. Alright, first time taking off the E4. Well, use a little bit of flaps, not a lot. Mainly because we don't actually need it that much. But let's put it on, I don't know, 12%. That's not really takeoff flaps, but it gets us where we want to do. Before I do so, let me just check chat here. Ultimate Bacon Overlord, thank you very much for following. Welcome to Hydra, yeah. Yes, I am using track IR. Oh, I've seen enough of spin tires from Bo that I never want to touch that game with a 10-foot stick or pole or whatever you say. Okay, let's take off here, guys. This is the moment we dread. Okay, 80% is already emergency mode. I can go to 1.4 ATA. Okay. She's taking off very nice and steady. This is not like the F4 or the G2. She does not have the same kind of tendency to skid around. Oh, this is beautiful. This is an absolute beautiful takeoff. And I mean the plane, not my skills here. Woohoo! Alright, let's throttle back a little bit. I am in the air. Let's make speed, get our gear up. And get the flaps in. And now we start just getting speed. Let's put her to 1.2 and see how she speeds up. We're doing 300 kilometers an hour here. And that also gives me an opportunity to look at chat once again. And it's 50 kilometers an hour. It's funny that I'm actually looking at the dashboard here instead of the information that is displayed right on screen. I guess it's just habits. Okay, let's take like this thing into a maneuver. Yeah, let's just make a right-hand turn. We'll put her to 1.3. The oil is extremely... Oh wait, 1 second, guys. We might have to open the oil rads and the water radiator. That is not handled automatically on this aircraft as it is on the F4 and the G2. I want to throttle back here. I just caught it in time, I think, because temperature for the oil and the coolant is not at a comfortable level, in my opinion. It's falling now. Okay, so we caught it in time. Good stuff. guys, so I actually made a video today that I'm going to be uploading. It's actually already uploaded. It's scheduled to come out on Thursday GMT plus 2 at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. GMT plus 2. And there I give very quick answer if you should get Battle of Stalingrad now with the sale or not. Let me just tell you the gist of it. I don't think that you should get the game just yet if you, for example, live in America or Australia or any other time zone than Europe. Because the service for the multiplayer will probably not be there for you. And the single player, it does have apparently an improvement. We're going to check it out on the stream as well. There's a new campaign apparently for single player. So we're gonna have a look at that. I like how she handles, at least in these very soft maneuvers. Let's check out her roll at 300 kilometers an hour. That seems about fine. Let's take another one. In a dive. That's fine. And let's go for a strong climb. Yeah, I like that. Very little control input required on that hammerhead. In fact, I did next to nothing. She did that herself. I like that. I like that a lot. And I do feel that she's more maneuverable than the F4, which is obvious, which should be also to be the case. She's a little bit more responsive, let's say. She's able to do these maneuvers quite tightly, although that she did not like. Okay. Remember guys, if you're going into a flight sim, it usually is the best thing not to go for the newest one. Because flight sims need time to mature and get better. They are not big budget titles. You know, the guys that make flight sims are usually very good in making flight models and damage models, but they're very bad in, or not as talented, let's say, or it's simply not a focus of making actually a game that is fleshed out. You know, those are things that come with time. The old IL-2 took like 10 years to become, and mods to become great. The Cliffs of Dover took, you know, a few years as well, and the Team Fusion mod to become something that I would consider playable, and it's really good with the Team Fusion mod, by the way. DCS had its troubles, you know, they still have its troubles even with the updates, so Rise of Flight is something you might want to look at, to be honest. Free trial in that game. And let me just show... yeah, we'll have a look at the spin soon. Somebody lost my stream. Alright, so let's take her to like 2,000 meters. And one thing I definitely noticed though is that she does not climb like the F4 and the G2. Again, something that is obvious, but it's something that is noticeable as well. The performance difference is there. She climbs well, but she doesn't climb as well, let's say. But we're more or less here on her optimal sustained climbing speed. And she is taking that altitude beautifully, but it's not amazing. Let me just try something as well. She does not have... okay. Right, let's do something like this. Okay. Let's do something like this. Okay, now she's spinning. How's she spinning? She took herself out of that? Are you telling me? Okay, so we exceeded the emergency boost time, or the emergency throttle time, fine. So it's actually not a lot. You can already keep that for 1 or 2 minutes. But Come on, get yourself into something that resembles. Okay, now we are. Now we're cooking with gas. And she's recovered. She is actually recovered. Alright, let's have a look here for just with the machine guns first. Those are Katyushas. Actually, cannons. Oh, I can notice the FPS stuttering over this forest. This is not good. This is not good. I mean, it might also be because I'm streaming, but this is not good. Let's hit the flaps a bit. And let's go back into it. There we go. Remember, with this guy, plane guys, you have 2,000 rounds in your machine guns, so use them. You know, you can probably spray and pray a little bit more with this one than with any other plane. Let me just look at the chat here. Cyberski, I know what you mean. Wait, you can wipe the screen? Are you telling me you can do that in the game, or are you just asking me to do it? Because as far as I know, you can't do that. It's something that also annoys me. But if you're telling me, if you have played this game and you tell me that you can do this, but... Conquer, my PC hardware, you don't even want to know. It's a 3 to 4 year old laptop, gaming laptop. And it's, yeah, not amazing anymore. There are no ships on this map. Apparently there's also ships added to this game, guys, so that's why I was checking. Let's check out the turn. Now, generally, the email can actually turn quite well for 109. It's the only problem is, you know, 109s have the reputation of being bad turners, guys. That is not actually factually correct. Contextually, it can be correct, and contextually, it can be wrong. You always have to remember who is the 109 fighting against, and does that, you know, against that opponent, is she better at turning, or is she worse at turning against that opponent? 109s get a lot of flack for being unable to turn. That is absolutely not true. The problem is that some of the real-life counterparts of the 109 simply did it better. For example, if you looked at the email is from the planes that are most commonly known of the 109 line, the one that turns the best. Yeah, objectively speaking, she turns the best. I mean, you saw there, we kept ourselves at a reasonable speed here, and we're able to turn quite nicely. The only issue was that she was fighting against, for example, Spitfires and Hawk 75s, which are essentially P-36s, and those turn better. So the German pilots got into a habit of not turning, but against opponents where they could turn against, for example, American fighters, except maybe, for example, the P-40, you know, they would turn if they could. But then again, you also got to remember that if you turn against an opponent, it makes you a very easy target, and as such, you know, it's a tactic you don't always want to employ. Yeah, of course you're kidding. Shaved, generally try, okay, you need altitude, but generally try. It depends on what kind of spin you are in. But put the throttle to 0, push the stick completely forward, and apply counter rudder to the movement that you're spinning in. And at some point you will recover, but you will take, you know, you need altitude for that. It takes time, and once you've essentially recovered, you can see that your aircraft is essentially just plummeting straight down with the nose going first. You take the rudder away slowly, but with a reasonable pace, and you apply throttle, and you wait until she has some kind of speed, and then you pull out. So you do need some kind of, you know, reserve altitude to be able actually to do that. Ideally, you never want to get yourself into a spin, but it happens to everyone. And I just have a new follower, but I did not check in time what the name was. Thank you very much for following. And welcome to Hydra indeed. Okay, so there's an airfield up front. We're going to try to land there. Let's see what we can do. Our first landing approach here with the 109 E-7. And then at some point, I think the next thing we are going to do is try to bomb a ship. Oh, conquer me as well, absolutely. P-47 and DCS is going to be beautiful. Captain Greenbeans, thank you very much. Blown away, how are you doing? Alright, so let's land this thing. Overall, I gotta say, you know, I'm very pleased at how she handles. She's kind of what I expected, you know, a more nimble 109 with less performance. And that's what we got, I think. And let's try one more thing. Let's see what she does here. Okay, the pilot is blacked out, and she continued the movement, okay. Actually, let's do a very harsh pull-up here. I don't think the G2 or the F4 would have been able to pull that, make that tight of a loop, actually. I think it would have been a slightly bigger. Oh, I'm already exceeded my emergency time. Iron 610, welcome to Hydra. Okay, let's land this thing. Correction, let's try to land this thing. See how she does. I wonder if there's an option to actually turn off the grass, because once I get closer to the ground, that might impact my FPS quite severely. DB601A. Well, it depends which email we're talking about. Jenny. Okay. Let's see how she keeps her speed here. We might have to go on a run again. I'm trying to put myself against the movement here. Yeah, we'll try that again. No worries. Oh, the FPS. Down the landing gear, and it's down. Let's get an outside perspective for a second. Ah, she's just beautiful. She is just beautiful. Okay, let's see how we land this thing. We're still coming in with quite a lot of speed here. Should be fine. One bounce. I think we'll have to touch and go actually. Although, alright, so we landed here, but it wasn't pretty, and it surely is also not the best landing I've ever done. Let's try to slow her down here. Oh, that's fine. I'm gonna say that's fine. And let's put her here, turn off the engine. Give you a nice little look at her. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Great stuff. Right, let's finish the mission.